So what's our question today, Sarah?
Today's question comes from Miriam, and Miriam wants to know if our students influence the way we teach, or if we see them as more kind of passive learners each term.
Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of variety among, all professors, but so speaking for us, but also speaking for a lot of our colleagues, yes, simple answer. Students have a huge influence on how we teach, and what we teach, and what happens when we go to the classroom every day.
Right. Often we make a syllabus in this kind of perfect dreamland at home, and we think about how everything's going to fit together in this beautiful quilt, and everyone will come out brilliant and having this transformative experience. And then when you actually get in front of a classroom with students, you realize that your little syllabus dream world at home doesn't actually work as well.
No.
Real people.
Which is both the very exciting and fun part, but also the really scary part about teaching, because it's this really constant work in progress. So, you sign up to teach a class, or you get signed up to teach a class for the first time, and it's all this kind of brand new experience. So you're kind of waiting to see what actually happens in real time. And that's when students begin to influence how we teach, and then we'll teach the class again, and we learn from that one experience in the classroom from our students, and then try to make it better.
Yes, so every group of students is helping the next group of students to make the class better. Yeah. We're also constantly adjusting as we go. If we suddenly discover we have a whole room full of kinesthetic learners, learners that really need hands-on projects instead of just reading and discussing things, then I try to adapt to that and always make the best experience possible.
Yeah, which can sometimes make it a little crazy, because one thing happens one semester with a group of students, and you think, okay, I'm going to adapt, based on what I've learned and based on those students for the next semester, and then you have a totally different group who just does not like anything that you're doing, because you're basing it all on the past students. And it doesn't always work out. So
yes, we have definitely a very particular teaching style that it's called student-centered learning, right? Where we're always trying to have the students generate knowledge on their own rather than kind of feeding it to them. So you will definitely encounter classes where professors don't do that. I think more and more of us are trying to do it. It's just more interesting for everybody.
It is. It's not always very easy to do, especially if you, like we've both taught large lecture courses. One thing I remember telling Sara, the thing that I learned about teaching over the years is that especially in my lecture courses, I started teaching the course, the next semester's course, based on like the answers the previous students had given, like whether it was an example of a concept in lecture or stories that they were telling. So basically I was kind of, I kind of became a passive teacher and turned my students into passive learners in a lot of these lecture scenarios, because I was just saying like, oh, well, this is what the last class discovered. I wasn't actually saying that, but instead of having the next group of students kind of come up with their own questions and develop their own answers, because especially in the social science and humanities, not everything has the same answer all the time. So I think I've tried to learn not to do that.
Right. So thank you, Miriam. That was a great question. And the short answer is yes. And you should always try and be as active as possible in your classes. And if a professor is, if you feel like a passive learner, then maybe something isn't right on some side of the class. So thanks for asking questions. Come back next time. Subscribe and like and share.
Put us on Instagram.